right, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is the London section of the new week of the first month, and happy new month to you. How was the last month? Hope you had a good one. And we're gonna be trading very smart this month. We're gonna be trading very smart, and we're gonna be refreshing ourselves. I'm gonna be launching lots of new videos to help the community this particular month actually. And yes, so first of all, before we get started, we're gonna do a review today. We're gonna do a review of all the trades that we actually took last month in January. We do a review of it, a recap. I'm also gonna post the recap on the Telegram channel. And then we are going to also look out for the potential opportunity that we have in the market. We're still trading only NASDAQ, and let's get into it. All right. And also today we're going to check all the news outline for the week to know when we should be trading and when we should not be trading. Okay. All right. So let's go, everyone. First things first, let me take away all these major lines and all that we're having. So from last month, which is January, which is basically, I'm just gonna go to when we actually started trading. Yes, so I'm gonna go to, I think I'm gonna do that on 15 minutes. But let's just take a look at what NASDAQ is doing. NASDAQ is bullish, right? And as much as it is bullish, it's making a retracement back into the demand zone on the 4-hour. Last week, oh boy, you cannot believe this. Last week, I took almost 3 stop losses. I took 3 stop losses last week. 3 stop losses last week. The first stop loss I took, right? So what happened was that, anyway, I think it's an okay week because I had 2 winning trades, right? The first trade was on, okay, this was right now. The first trade was on Tuesday. The trade that hits almost 1 to 3, but 1 to 2.5, let's call it like that. Then the second trade that lost 1%. The third trade lost 1%. The fourth trade, so we had 4 trades last week. 4 trades. We're buying NASDAQ all of last week. Like last week, we decided that, okay, we're not going to sell the NASDAQ at all. So we were identifying demand zones and then we're buying NASDAQ at the demand zones. And NASDAQ was actually, so it was quite funny to see that, oh, we're waiting to buy NASDAQ and then NASDAQ keeps selling and selling and selling. I was so funny. So the trade that was running on Friday, I took a trade on Friday. I took a buy from this area. I knew that I was supposed to wait at this demand zone, but I'm like, if price is gonna respect this demand zone, you should just go up. So I took a buy and I put my stop loss behind the demand zone. When I wake up this morning, I saw that I've actually taken stop loss. Not the best thing to start anyone, but obviously it's fine. It is what it is. And when I look at 4-hour, I saw, okay, it's looking like price is going to be doing a major institutional concept move. Whenever price creates a new high, it needs to do a retracement. So there's something called a pro trend, meaning that when price breaks and make a new high, and price can return back to the demand zones or the discount level where it started that move and then take another swing high from there, right? So in order for NASDAQ to stay bullish, the only place that matter for price to respect is the extreme demand zone that we have on the 4-hour that led to the break of structure to the upside, right? So the only thing now we need to know is that from where NASDAQ is right now, so let me see, there's a menu I'm actually looking for. I think that menu is going to help me to explain some things better. I think it's a brush or a highlighter. Let me try an highlighter before and see. So for example, from where, oh, okay. Oh, okay. I think it might be this highlighter actually. It might actually be this highlighter. Okay, or it can actually be this brush. Okay, I think I'm gonna be using brush. Yeah, so I'm gonna make brush to be part of my favorite, so I can use it for certain explanation. So, what I was trying to explain on the 4 hour is last week when NASDAQ make a new high, right? As soon as NASDAQ make a new high over here, which you can see, NASDAQ started from this bottom here, then it went all the way to this top, right? So now that it has created a new high, it's very likely that it's going to pull back to two places potentially. The breaker block, meaning that the resistance level somewhere here that led to the breaker structure, or it's going to come all the way down to this demand level here, right? Or it's going to come down to the extreme demand where the actual move originated. Yeah. So, and that was exactly what happened. Like it pulled down to all the zones and touched the extreme. Now, though, I think is a perfect area to really be looking for buys. So this week, too, for NASDAQ to stay bullish, they shouldn't go below this particular level they are right now on 4 hour time frame. If NASDAQ should be going below this low, then honestly, I don't even have any word for NASDAQ again. Like if NASDAQ just keep going lower than this, then I have no word for NASDAQ because it's not supposed to be happening. Like it's one and done. You've reached this level and that's it. You should not be seeing NASDAQ taking any lows again. Like we should start like potentially going back up. All right, so now that that's out of the way, let's now start the analysis of the week, what we're looking out for, and also, so as usual, we need to look out for the key zones that we're going to be trading from for NASDAQ. And first of all, this time around, we're starting from 4 hour so that we make sure we have the best area marked out, and then we'll mark out demand zones and we'll mark out previous day high, previous week high, and stuff like that. So, and for us to be able to also know exactly where price is potentially going to respect. All right, so the first thing first, on the 4 hour time frame, we're going to look at the demand zone that is going to potentially hold, and that's currently what's happening right now. Immediately, I'm going to take this demand zone that we currently are inside of it, right? So this is exactly the zone I'm going to take. I will not take the entire range up to the top like this. There is like two ways to draw a demand zone. You can draw it with a full pivot candle, or you can draw it with just the wick and the bottom of the mid range of the pivot candle itself. Okay, so and this zone I just drew now is a, let me see, wow, it's a big zone. It's a 230 points zone. Okay, so because it's a 230 point zone, what I need to be careful about is um you know obviously right now there is an ongoing reaction and on this level, meaning which is even good because seeing a good reaction from a zone and that you are potentially going to take a trade from is actually very nice. So what's going to happen now is now that, because I trade supply and demand, so it's just for me to identify a good demand level. Why am I taking this demand zone as a new area of interest? Is because a move that originated from here actually broke a structure. So for example, you will see that, let me draw a line over here. We broke this level, so I'm going to call it a break of structure, So we broke this area, which is the break of structure level here, and then price went boom all the way. So let me draw a path for it. Price started moving like from here, then it was moving. As soon as it got here, it broke this level to the left, right? When it did that, you see, we went straight up, right? So now that was actually what happened, that's why I knew, okay, this demand level is a good zone, because a good demand zone, for you to break levels, it takes a lot of money. So that means that there's a lot of good participants participating in this level. And honestly, for NASDAQ to create the all-time high, the only thing remaining is just for us to break this high, this line at the top here, the horizontal line that I have at the top. That's just the only thing remaining for NASDAQ to make an all-time high. So what's going to happen now is that we potentially need to see NASDAQ doing either a new all-time high this week. Like it can be slow, or but now NASDAQ is already due for all-time highs, right? So, and what we're especially going to look out for now is, I'm still going to be on the buying of NASDAQ for this, especially from where price right now is. Especially now, if you take a look at the Fibonacci right now, from this swing low to this swing high, if you look at the 4-hour swing low and 4-hour swing high, you see that price is right inside, like the discount zone where potentially you should be taking it by. So very well, this is the area for taking by. I think what I can just introduce this week is that if there is a swing range, if there's a swing range on 4-hour, I am going to be using the fib of the the fib level to determine if I should be looking for sales or I should be looking for buy, because it seems it's way more accurate than actually staying on 15 minutes and looking for buys when there is still the 4-hour or swing range that wants to maybe go further downward. So for this week, we're going to be using the fib on the 4-hour to see, okay, we're going to take the 4-hour swing range, and then the swing range, we're going to potentially look for, okay, where is price currently in the swing range? Are we in the pullback phase, or are we in the internal phase? So we need to know like which phase of the market we are currently. And then based on that, we're going to determine the buyers. Okay, let's be looking for sales or let's be looking for buys. Okay, and that's what we'll potentially be doing. And okay, so that is that. So for today, we're going to be looking for buy, at least as of right now, what price is doing. I'm not going to be identifying any supply level, because obviously the only supply level, there's no supply level right now for me. The supply level, I call it like resistance level, right? Plus at the top here, obviously there might be reaction, but I think the long-term value of the market right now is to buy. So my buyers right now for this week again is buy, and I think this is way more better than last week, given the condition that the market is actually showing us right now. All right, the next thing we're going to do is that I am going to show the 15 minutes levels. I'm going to show the 15-minute levels, and for the 15-minute levels, I'm going to first of all turn on the session break. So over here, I turn on session break. Now I've turned on session break. I want to see the Asian range, because these are areas of liquidity, right? So this is the Asian range. Okay, so anyway, these two lines at the top here is the 4-hour swing high and the all-time high candle. Now this is the swing range that we're dealing with. Okay, let me do something. This is actually where I took stop loss, so let me put it exactly there. So this is the swing range. This is the Asian range that we're dealing with for today. The Asian range for today is, it started from this line over here. Let me take the parts. Started from this line here all the way to this bottom here, right? That is the Asian range that we're dealing with. And this range alone is over 100 points for NASDAQ. Wow, sorry. It's a whole 453 points. That range alone is almost 500 points. The Asian range that started from last night when market opened. That's a lot of movement. So buys, I think that right now, buy situation is actually looking good now. See, there is a minor level over here that I think NASDAQ should break it. If NASDAQ should break this level, then do a pullback, I'm going to be looking for buys. So this potentially can happen between now and New York. So between now and New York, as soon as NASDAQ can break from, let me redraw it, from where price is right now, if we can break the minor structures that are actually, so I'm going to redraw that. So there's a level over here, like, this, from where price is right now, I need to see break, pull back, then, do this. I think that's actually going to be the actual nice thing to see NASDAQ to do. So why did I say there's a level here? There's a level somewhere here. I'm going to use the parts to draw it. There's a level here that NASDAQ is currently trying to take right now. And there is a resistance level right over here, just above here, that I think NASDAQ should potentially take out. So once NASDAQ came from where it is right now, it's already taken out the first one. It may take out the second one as well. Let me redraw that. So if NASDAQ should take out the second resistance level, which is like the minor one over here, do a pullback, maybe even take this one out, do a pullback, give me a bullish sign, I'm going to potentially look for taking the buy to the upside. So it needs to just basically break all this minor resistance, then give us a pullback, then we're going to take a buy to the upside. So I'm not going to be trading this morning. I'll just wait until New York. I'll wait until New York and all. So the zones that we're trading from on 15 minutes is still the same as the one we've identified on 4 hour. So price is currently within the demand level. So it's likely that we might even get a further pullback into deeper of the demand zones before we get like a final push to the upside. But that's also going to happen very soon, and we're going to just keep waiting. In order to trade smart, not to lose our money, it's better that to see zones that are in the direction of buy to be taken out, and then on the pullback, we're going to look for like a participation of buyer either on the 1 minute break of structure or 1 minute level breakout, and then we just take the buy, put the stop loss where it's supposed to be, and then we will look for opportunities there. All right, so in terms of PNL, last month overall, I would say that, so let me take a look right now. Like I have not personally done it. I should have done it in the weekend, but this last weekend I was very busy. So we've traded live for 2 weeks now, or 2-3 weeks now. 2-3 weeks, yes. So since we've traded live for 3 weeks, last week was the 3rd week. What happened is last week was the lowest performing week actually, because last week I had only one winning trade. Okay, I had only one winning trade that gave me 1 to 2.5, but then I have 3 losing trade that lose me 3%. So technically, it was a break-even week last week. Not even a break-even, a minus 0.5 week last week. So I'm gonna do the difference. I'm gonna put it in the Telegram. I'm gonna check the report of the 2 weeks previous to last week, before last week, and compare the overall last month's performance. I think in terms of performance, we actually made money. We had like a more winning month rather than the losses itself. The good thing is that there are some days. Anyway, on my account itself, on my PNL, it will not be the same. The result is actually different from the trade that I've analyzed, because there are some trades that I still took that are actually outside of the analysis. I'm not going to do that again this week or going forward. I'm just going to make sure that exactly the analysis I took alone are the trades I'm going to be taking. I'm not going to take any extra trades and all. And yes. Okay. Do you have any question? If there are any question, put it there. Let's have it. I think it's going to be a good week. So let's take a look at the news that is happening this week. Today, we're having the PMI at 4 o'clock. Nothing to worry about. That's Tuesday. Tuesday, we're having the job opening data coming out. Wednesday, we're having the non-farm employment change. Okay. And I think this week should also be NFP week. On Thursday, there's a lot of news, but it's not mostly for USD. On Thursday, it's only unemployment claims that we need to worry about for USD. And on Friday is NFP. So definitely this coming Friday, there's gonna be potential volatility on Friday. So there is news almost every day, so we just need to be careful and trade carefully. So when we come back at New York, we'll recheck the time of the news again to make sure that we are not trading during the time of the news, or at least if our position is well placed. All right, if you have any question, feel free to put it down there in the comments, and I'm gonna be taking a look at it. Right now, we are waiting for NASDAQ. We're gonna be buying NASDAQ. I'm looking out to buy NASDAQ, right? So, but I need to see, some break to the upside and pull back, then, take the buy. This week, I'm going to have all the patience that I need to have, because there's no point in entering a trade that, just gives you like bad result afterwards because you didn't wait for all the confirmation. So, and anyway, lessons learned for last week, and I think it's a good one. I think this week is going to be a lot more better, and we are going to potentially see a good opportunity for this week, and we can make money for the week and for the month. Okay, so with that, the new plan again is that this month I'm going to be starting two new live. One is I'm going to be starting a Naira account trading. I'm going to be funding 100,000 Naira account and I'm going to be trading live. The goal is to see how to grow a small account, like, how to grow a small account, like a 100,000 Naira account, and grow it to, like, maybe like a million Naira. And also, I'm going to be starting trading my prop firm live on the channel. So I'm not going to be like trading my prop firm account anyway, just for this period. I'm going to be, that means that every trade I'm going to be taking on my prop firm account, I'm going to be streaming it, right? So all the trade that is running on my account is going to be streamed live. You're going to be seeing it. So that means that I'm going to be going live way often than before now. So that means that for most trades that I'm taking, other than the London and New York analysis that I'm doing, you might be seeing me live more often, right? And then we're going to be doing a series as well on prop firm and also growing a Naira account, okay? I'm also potentially going to do a video about how to start trading. I have a couple of people just asking me how can they start trading and all blah blah. So I just want to make a video about that and also. But if you have any question, and it's also likely that on the channel we can also start bringing people that analyze gold. Someone that analyze gold and bring them for in case someone is thinking of trading gold, and someone that also trade. My brother, for example, Moses, he trades USD JPY. So he might also want to analyze USD JPY for us. So potentially we might have someone or some people coming on the channel to share about USD JPY and gold analysis, while I continue to show us NASDAQ analysis. So I want to really master NASDAQ to make sure that I can capitalize and know, okay, when it does something like this is what is likely to happen next and stuff like that. So and yeah, so that's just what I'm gonna be paying attention to. Like now, this week, the way I was trading NASDAQ last week was with the information I had from the weeks before. Now that looking at what it was doing last week, now I realized that okay, NASDAQ can actually be doing the trend states, because there is almost like how many states can NASDAQ be? Number one is going up, break structure. Number two is going to pull back, right? And number three is going to continuation, right? So right now, what we're having, the trend that we're having right now is that we've gotten a break to the upside, gotten the pullback. Now we need to see the continuation. So we need to catch that continuation. That's just what we're waiting for right now. And then one of the things to do with catching continuation is you need to be able to, find a good entry, put your stop, and then put your target, which is like, the place where your tip is actually going to be. So that is good. All right, thank you everyone for coming. We are going to see each other again at New York session. Stay tuned, and then we would potentially be doing a lot of cool things now. All right, thank you everybody, and stay